Yeah, there's mental whiskey, there's Rosebank in here, there's Springbank, there's 31-year-old Rosebank and Springbank in here. Welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got
a massive
whiskey, which is a 31-year-old blend from Signatory. Now, I say it's massive because 1, the age, 2, the price, and 3, the amount of whiskies that are in here. So, Signatory had released back in, I can't tell you when it was, but they released a whiskey quite a while ago in like a similar style. It came in a bit of a fancier presentation. This just came in a tube, but the older one had like a scroll in it. I believe the box was maybe like a velour, a kind of velvety, soft touch felt. It was a bit more kind of pompous, but they released something similar in a decanter. It came with a cork and a little glass stopper as well for you to take the cork out with like a corkscrew and then to put the glass in. My girlfriend, now fiance, Louise's papa recently got a bottle of this for a birthday, and also Stevie, her dad, managed to get a bottle of the older stuff, which is quite fantastic. But anyway, we'll get down to this, which is, I mean, it's fantastic that they managed to both get bottles of it because it's quite rare. But this itself, bottled at 43.5% ABV. I will not be running down the list of distilleries because that's them all in the back. The previous bottling they done was 100 malts, over 100 malts. I don't know if this is the same. It looks like it could be, but there's loads in there. So it says that it's been marrying in sherry butts for 26 years. Which is mental. 104 different malts, there you go, 104 different malts are in here, no grain, and married in sherry butts for 26 years. So the youngest whiskey in there is 31-year-old. It's mental. I believe it was 280 quid, 280 pound. We bought this as a split through the Tabes group, so we managed to spread the cost that way. We opened it up in Campbelltown, admittedly when we maybe had too many whiskies already. So yeah, I've spent a bit of time with my own sample, and I've decided to take notes and finally get the review out. So we'll get down to this, see if it's a whiskey win or a whiskey bin. So the nose, there's caramelised orange, there's like sour sweeties, a bunch of old books that you've had like sitting up the loft. Very specific. We actually recently gutted out our loft, and this is why this come to mind. We had a bunch of books there in a box, and when you opened it, it smelled like that. Just kind of dusty, old, and paper. Yeah, you know what old books smell like. There's a touch of smoke there as well. It's not harsh on the nose, being 43.5%. It's easy just to take a big sniff of it. There's furniture polish, there's black tea. There's also some, I get like kind of Weiss beer, wheat beer notes on there, on the nose that, yeah, you know what a wheat beer is. But just that, yeah, kind of wheaty, almost malty, beery smell. There's fresh ripe apples as well. There's actually a lot going on in the nose. This is just, it's mental. It's like I don't know, it's just mental. There's so many malts in there. But it just feels like the nose could go on forever. And these are only the notes I've picked out, but I feel like there's so much more. And I have sat with this for a good half hour to an hour, possibly been an hour and a half some nights, just sitting with it because there is so much going on. It is fantastic on the nose. It just keeps delivering. It's the epitome of an infinity bottle. 104. The palate. yeah, it's a great mouthfeel. The whole experience in the mouth just like exudes kind of elegance or something. There's something, you know it's old. It's a little fusty. There's some dried grass there. There's a lot of tobacco, and you know what? There's even like a weed flavour. Like, yeah, I sometimes relate it to opening a bottle of like Corona or Estrella, a kind of watery lager. Yeah, it's like when you first open one of them, I'm sure you'll know what I mean if you drink beer, if you drink lager. When you open it, you get this kind of, it is almost like weed, marijuana, it smells like that, it kind of tastes like that initially. And I've been told that the marijuana plant and the hops plant kind of share some sort of lineage somehow within the group that they come from. And that's what I'm getting. I am definitely getting weed on this. Imagine saying a 300 quid whiskey. Yes, this was 280, but 300 quid whiskey tastes like weed. There's definitely a marijuana aspect to it, and there's so much tobacco. Specifically like rolling tobacco, it's rolling tobacco that comes to mind for me. There's some chocolate there as well. It's malty, it's waxy. I would even like there's cloves, there's honey. Imagine you're making a gammon joint. There's not really like the gammon aspect, but you're just putting those cloves in and you're smothering it in honey. You're getting that kind of flavour, cloves and honey, just without the gammon. It's a little soft in the palate, if I'm going to be honest. A little, I don't want to say disappointing, because it's still quite exquisite. it's still fantastic. It's got a smile on my face. It's just, yeah, yeah, it's great. The finish, I would say medium to short. There's some more kind of that beer, wheaty Weiss beer element to it. Maybe straying away from the Corona, the Estrella, but more now like a proper good Weiss beer, a good German beer that you get. So a little bit malty still in the palate, in the finish, sorry. It's also quite woody, and there's some white pepper and a little bit of smoke also in the finish. I don't know why I said it like that seemed quite strange. And a little bit of smoke. But yeah, I think it delivers. It's expensive, yeah, definitely, but it's delivering, and I'm grateful that we managed to secure a bottle between us, and I'm glad that some of us managed to share the experience of trying it together. Although how capable we are of taking any notes at that point, we weren't necessarily in the fittest state. But we'll get down to the review. And my rating, and if you're new here, how I rate my whiskies on 3 factors. Would I buy it again? Do I think it's worth it? And would I recommend it? So would I buy it again? No, because it's expensive. I would happily split it again, definitely. I would do another split in this without a doubt. There's no denying that. But I wouldn't buy a bottle for myself because it's a lot of money. It's £280. Do I think it's worth the £280? I think it is. I think I have to say it is. It's a 31-year-old blend, yeah, fair enough, but it's only single malts, and there's 104 whiskies in here, and to put them together, I mean, I've got my own infinity bottle, and I know how hard it is. I'm no way a blender or anything, but I've managed to do an alright job at my limited knowledge of the whiskies that are in my infinity bottle, but it's just a complete dump, whereas this could be a dump as well, but it's well done and it's put together. And obviously it's had that, my infinity bottle's not had 26 years maturing in a sherry butt to kind of round it out. But yeah, there's Dallas Doon here. I was just trying to see, there's Colburn, Capardonic. I'm just trying to pick out the kind of closed distilleries to show the magnitude of this whiskey. I wonder if there's Glenvorn here. I'm not sure. Let me have a I don't want to ruin I don't think there is Glenbourne here, but yeah, there's mental whiskey, there's Rosebank in here, there's Springbank, there's 31-year-old Rosebank and Springbank in here. Anyway, I think it's worth £280. There's a lot of time, a lot of curating, a lot of nurturing I feel has went into this, so I think it's worth £280. Would I recommend it? 100%. No, definitely. You should try this. If you can try it, try it. It's expensive, it's a lot of money. Buy it at a bar, try and get a dram, or try and share a dram with someone who's willing to, because I think it's once in a lifetime experience. It's 283. It's a Whisky Win. It's got a smile on my face. I've been Stuart. This has been Whisky Wins. I'll see you later.